Well, that is the new crash barrier on London Bridge. It's on both sides. I'm recording this with my phone, and it's really windy. This recording setup generally can't handle the wind too well, so hopefully it's okay. So when the London Bridge attack happened the other day, I was completely out of town, so I had a very different kind of experience to the last one, that is for sure. This is the first time I've been down here since I came back to London, which was about 25 minutes ago. So I've come straight down here. And I wanted to go and explore around Borough, but I've got a feeling actually you can't get down there, but we'll give it a go, see what happens. There's a couple of really interesting things, or the thing that I find really interesting is that when the Westminster attack happened, it's almost like the people who did it had the idea that they wanted to actually minimise casualties, because where it happened was right next to St Thomas's Hospital, so like doctors and ambulances and stuff essentially were right there on the scene already. And it's actually the same here. I mean, where the Shard is, and there's also News Corporation, if you can see that, and the Shard. Behind that is what, Guy's Hospital, I think it is, which is just means that when the attack happened, essentially the ambulances and stuff were basically already here. It's almost like it was purposefully done to minimise casualties. Another interesting thing about it is if you think about this in terms of how the state and how the government benefit from this sort of attack. Obviously, a lot of people are saying that the police need to be better armed, the police need to have more resources, need to have more armed police, and all that kind of stuff. Well, the Westminster attack happened in Scotland Yard territory, very much Scotland Yard territory, next to the new Scotland Yard headquarters. Where this attack happened was City of London police territory, and then the van came into Metropolitan Police territory, and also the territory of British Transport Police. So in a way, this is like a golden zone of policing. If you're going to find some police officers, and lots of them straight away, it's going to be here, because this is the interconnection between three different types of police force, and now they're all being given the nudge of investing in more guns and more people on the streets and more security and more surveillance and all of that kind of stuff. So expedience in terms of what the government agenda has basically been for decades. I'm going to try and get around the other side of this, see if I can go down. While I'm doing that, I'll show you a vlog I recorded yesterday when I was in the countryside, talking about Theresa May's weird and slightly scary speech. Borough Market. Go and have a look. Look for bullet holes, maybe, presumably. That's the only thing that came to mind. Is might be bullet holes and things. Let's go and have a look. I don't know. And I have spent today repetitively watching Theresa May's speech outside Downing Street, which is just shocking. It was shocking to watch the first time. It's even more shocking the second, third, fourth and fifth times, especially when you look at the finer details. I mean, some of the things she was saying, am I the only one to notice that Theresa May openly said that we're going to be taking military action in Syria?
Yes, that means taking military action to destroy ISIS in Iraq and Syria.
Because she did actually say that in the speech, in a kind of weird, complex way. But she said, "Oh, of course it means we're going to be taking military action in Syria." And did nobody blink? And the fact that oh God, I've got to get under the trees. It's really raining. The fact that so-called campaigning is suspended, and I said this before, but she's doing it again in a more expert and totalitarian way. She's like, "Oh, campaigning is completely suspended, and we're all not campaigning anymore. But here's my 4-point schedule and how we're going to tackle extremism and completely fundamentally alter the very idea of human rights and what civil behaviour should be." Do you remember Tony Benn? Years ago, 2005, he wrote a real landmark article about, you know, surveillance and freedom and what does it mean, and how horrible it is to see like machine guns outside the Parliament and all of that stuff. And Tony Benn, in that speech or in that article, made a reference to Magna Carta, talking about how the government wanted to extend the period by which they can imprison somebody without charge. And Tony Benn was saying, well look, because of terrorism legislation, they're basically just throwing out not just something that was in Magna Carta, but something that was always put into every revision of anything we could ever call some kind of constitution in this country. And Theresa May, in her speech the other day, she said, oh, and we need to change the whole sort of judicial process of, you know, prisoners or whatever. She was just saying, oh, by the way, we're just gonna, while we're in this sort of military stance, we're just completely gonna ignore I mean, it's as the imprisonment without charge is about as obvious that it's the state being immoral as like it's obvious that murder is immoral. It's like, it's not something, the reason it's in Magna Carta and every revision and again and again and again that it should not have imprisonment without charge is because it's alien to the very concept of moral human behaviour. And Theresa May, in her long, complex marketing sentences, just slipping in things to say, oh, we're going to undermine Magna Carta, we're going to take action in Syria even though the Parliament voted against it. I mean, God, what the hell is going on? There we go. That's like completely cut off. So I can't go anywhere near it. CNN have decided it's so boring they're going to be leaving now. I guess they've been out here for days. And yeah, the whole thing's cordoned off. But what you could see up there essentially was all of the police forces working hand in hand, you know, just as Jack the Ripper wanted, uniting of the police. Oh God. Oh fuck. Sorry. It was just a stampede because they've cut off like basically all the roads. There's like a stampede of commuters basically trying to get all the way around the back. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to come back another day to investigate that. I really wanted to like look for sort of bullet marks and stuff. I know that even the police themselves said that, you know, the amount of rounds that they shot off was like more than has ever been done. It's like literally like armed warfare in the streets. A member of the public was actually shot by the police, although that's not really being, that story is not being told too much on the mainstream media. But yeah, a member of the public was shot by the police. He didn't die or anything, but it goes to show that the more police you have, the more bullets you have flying around, the more you have like armed warfare on the streets of London, the more innocent civilians are going to be shot by the security services by accident, which is bad. We've got to get somewhere where there's no wind. So there is really something that very much concerns me about what's happened here. And I'm not worried for my own safety being in London. I mean, I don't think anyone really is really worried for their own safety if they actually live in London. It's not like we're all going away it's not like we're all going along with Sadiq Khan saying, oh, it's all part of daily life. It's just like, people don't actually care about their own personal safety, I don't think. Like, we all know that we could jump out in front of a bus by accident at any point and die, so I don't think anyone really cares. Certainly, I personally don't want to like give up freedoms and start being searched in the street and all that kind of stuff just because some bunch of crazy lunatics, however they get encouraged, has done something horrible. You know, life just will continue, I think. Yeah, the thing that really concerns me about this is the fact that Theresa May said, was actually sort of boasting that the police shot them within 8 minutes.
Metropolitan Police and the City of London Police arrived at Borough Market within moments and shot and killed the 3 suspects.
From the time we had a police call, the people were dead within 8 minutes. And a lot of people might say, oh, that's a great thing that the police have done, and you know, it goes to show that they're really efficient and all that kind of stuff. But I would say, to rephrase it slightly, the police have turned into a pre-trial extra-judicial execution squad to make sure that all your suspected enemies are dead in the street before you even know who they are or what inspired them, or who was funding them, or whatever. The fact that they are shooting dead in the street suspects in a massive murder case, so they can never face trial and they can never be asked questions, is a really, really serious problem. They need to find some kind of non-lethal way of downing these people, because if there is some weird shenanigans going on, we need to know. I mean, the people who did it are possibly going to be spilling the beans. I don't know. What I do know for sure is that London is changing and London Bridge is down. Well, no,